You guys, did y'all see there was this like viral, I guess it was a TikTok, it was a video where this mom was like, yeah, we had a play date, you know, and like another little girl came over to her house.
Can we normalize sending the other family money for play dates? So recently, my daughter had a friend over, and I asked her mom for money, and this is how it went. So after the play date, I texted her mom and I said, thanks for letting Jamie play today. Please help out with your share of the expenses for the play date, totaling $15 via Venmo. Let's do it again sometime, because I can't keep doing these play dates if it's so expensive. And she said, expenses? And I said, yeah, she used supplies and food while she was here. And this way we can do this more often without a monetary obligation on just one party, right? Makes sense. Now, she didn't say much, but she did say what supplies. And of course I wrote them down. There was chalk, applesauce, fruit. She sat on the couch, so that's wear and tear. She actually broke a toy. She had 3 juice boxes. She went to the bathroom. She had yogurt. Then she actually sent the money, and I sent her a message thanking her for it, of course. She didn't say anything else, but I said, you know, this will make it easier for us to do more play dates in the future. So what do you guys think?
So after the play date, she like texts the mom and she's like, well, you know, how do you feel about sending me some money so we can do more of these play dates, and I'll do the same when my child goes to your place. And the items that like she charged her for were like, oh, your daughter was here. She had 2 fruit snacks. She had a juice box. She had applesauce. She had some yogurt. She was billing her for shit like that. Oh, she said she went to the bathroom. She watched.
She said she sat on the couch, so that's wear and tear.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, y'all. I was like, mom sent her the money. The mom sent her the money, but I wonder if that's gonna be a mom that she's gonna continue to have play dates with. Because if
I would send the money and call it a day.
Let me tell you,
not.
Exactly. I would block her shit so fast. That bitch would never hear from me again.
That's
and yeah, like you said,
crazy.
probably send the money so she could shut the fuck up
and be done.
Bitch,
your couch has been sat on forever. Why are you sending me for wearing? Like, why are you charging me for wear and tear? Like, what?
Well, it's not like she took them to the aquarium into a restaurant.
Right.
I could see if you had to go to the store and buy the yogurt for my kids specifically.
Yes.
If you had it already.
But I was just gonna say, like, I've had friends take Ari out to like Legoland or the Children's Museum with their kids because I couldn't go or whatever the reason might have been. And I sent them money so they could pay for like her entrance and food or whatever she might have wanted at the time. But look, if you have your kid at my house, whatever my kid is eating, your kid can eat too.
Yes.
And like, I won't. Whatever kid is at my house and I have enough food to feed them, either we all eat or everybody gonna be hungry in this bitch. Like,
exactly. Like, what the
who does that?
Yo, my kids are always going to people's house asking for food. I think that's a Gen Z I would be broke as fuck.
That's
like,
terrible.
I think so too. I mean, even when I was growing up, and we kind of to a degree have that here too, you have our regular snacks and then our friend snacks.
Yeah.
Something that may be a little bit like less expensive to go through.
Yeah.
But yo, like, what if she was on food
I couldn't
stamps?
believe
like,
it.
And it was something like 3 juice boxes. I'm like, okay, calm down. Why are you giving them 3 juice boxes back to back to back like that?
As long as we have it,
I hope they're not doing that shit for real though, because I'm gonna be left with no moms no mom friends.
I hope that mom was like, how would your daughter come over tomorrow and like double charge her ass for that shit.
We're having caviar and smoked salmon, bitch.
Right? I'm gonna fucking make the most expensive shit I can. I'm gonna order DoorDash for the kids.
Right. I'm gonna need half of this.
Send her the receipt.
55%.
Plus gratuity.
Right.
It was wild.
That's crazy.
I've been a stay-at-home mom for going on 8 years now. And I think at first I really struggled with it. I struggled with not recognizing what my burnout looked like. I struggled with the whole identity thing. I've gotten a lot better at it now. I will say, like, the one thing that I still struggle with is, like, I mentioned how I was the first one in my friend group to have kids, and for the most part, like I do have mom friends, but I have several friends that like have decided to not have kids. And I think now it's really hitting me that some of those friendships are a little harder to maintain sometimes, especially when we're doing things where my kids are involved. So I just like wanted to ask, like, do y'all have friends like that? How do y'all handle those kind of friendships?
I do. And I had like one of my best friends for the longest time. She still doesn't have children. And our friendship has really evolved over the years. Like we still have so much love for each other, but our friendship does have to look a lot different. And it's more like phone calls and texts versus like in person, just because I'm going to have to bring my kids all the time. And she may not necessarily know like what things you really cannot do with kids or what is acceptable for what ages of child. And that friendship is something that has required effort to stay a good relationship, just because it's difficult for the both of us, because we're kind of like, oh my gosh. And I know I've changed so much since having children that she's probably like, who even is this girl anymore? You know,
I have friends like that too. Or like we don't have a lot in common because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I do have hobbies, you know, but I talk a lot about my kids. That's my life. And so I feel like sometimes we don't have a lot of things in common. I just had a situation where, you know, I was over at a friend's house and she doesn't have kids, and like her home wasn't childproof, and it was really tense in the sense of like I had to chase after my toddler a lot to make sure that she wasn't getting into anything, and I could just tell that it was like irritating her. And then it made the whole situation just like I'm gonna go. You know,
it like wasn't a relaxing vibe.
It wasn't, and it can really put a dent in a friendship. Like so I don't know, I'm still navigating that, but I guess I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's a real thing, especially now that so many women are choosing to remain childless, and still have friends that have kids, you know. And like I don't know, some women are better at some women are good with kids even though they choose not to have any, and the other way around too, where because they don't have any and they don't want any, they don't care for them. And so that's difficult to kind of be friends with people that aren't patient or don't understand like what it's like when my kids have to come along, you know.
Yeah. I think with me, I compartmentalize, I guess, my friends. So like I don't really have a lot of friends, first off. But because I'm an introvert, whether people believe it or
Quality over
not.
Quantity.
Right. Right. Yeah. I don't want any new friends. Okay. No new friends. Thank you.
No new fucking friends.
But it's like the friends that I do have that don't have kids, I don't talk to them about kid stuff because I know they wouldn't understand. And then when they give their opinion about parenting, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
And so I try to stay away from that topic and talk about all the other.
I'll tell you what, though, people without kids sure do have a lot of opinions on what to do.
Oh,
with
they're
yours.
expert.
Yes.
They are experts.
So I would rather just not talk about them. And I talk about my kids so much, but when I'm talking to friends who don't have kids, I try to minimize it because I don't want anyone saying anything that's going to piss me off. And so, but like I said, I don't really have a lot of friends. It really doesn't bother me, honestly. I wasn't the first one to have kids out of my friend group, so I know what it's like to have that friend that has a kid, and we want to go somewhere and we can't because she has her kids, and the kids are kids. You know, I've been there, but not anymore because I just don't go anywhere with those people. I just save myself the headache, you know, and it helps.
Yeah. So maybe it does just come down to compartmentalizing your friendships. And that's something that maybe I have to learn and maybe be like, okay, this person is my friend. That means my friend when my kids aren't around, or at least like and that sucks, right? But
it does, but
it is what it is.
It'll keep you sane. I think.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. Delaney, I used to have the shoes with the squeakers in them. Now, that was not for big places. That was just for like around the house or whatever. Well, she just learned to walk on her tippy toes where I couldn't hear her because the squeaker was in the heel and she would just walk around on her tippy toes. But also, I sent her to daycare with her little squeaky shoes. They took the squeakers out.
So we don't want to hear that shit.
No, they sent them home in a Ziploc bag. They were like, we done took these out.
They
We
did
are
not send
doing
them
that.
home in a Ziploc.
They sent them home in a Ziploc bag in her diaper bag.
Like,
That's
what
fucked
the
up.
hell?
They
I'd
did.
be like, where's my money at in the Ziploc? Like,
And I was in my like single mom era. I did not have enough money for a pair of squeaker shoes and not squeaker shoes. So those were the shoes that she had. They sent them home.
that's
Yeah.
But
crazy.
with my kids, they're a little bit older, which I think is extremely helpful. But what we've done is we talk a lot. So even if we're in a museum, he'll say, oh, what are you looking at? What does that do? And we'll have conversations. And that helps me keep track of where they are. And that's really helpful. And I feel like it helps me be able to enjoy the museum as well because they're telling me about what they're doing and what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And they think they're being helpful, which kids love to be helpful. But then I can always keep track of where they are. And it's very big that like you don't leave a certain area unless you have mommy or daddy with you. That's been a big thing. And look, I use some scare tactics. I tell them like there are people out here that want to kidnap you and take you with them. And then you will never ever see me again. I'm sorry, but I use it and it works because they are like, I'm not talking to strangers. We have an autistic child. So I had to really talk to her a lot about what a friend is and what a friend is not. Someone just being nice to you that you just met is not your friend and you cannot trust them. Because she thought for the longest time, if it's just somebody that I met and we like the same things, we are friends. And that's just not the truth. We talk a lot about safe adults and not safe adults. And there's just a lot of talking.
I think what's really important too, and I learned this when I was pregnant, actually, the AFB has really good resources for blind parents. And I read an article where they were talking about how important it is to be consistent, especially about like rules when you are out with your kids. So like be consistent with them from the time that they're little, that they're going to hold your hand. Consistent. And even if they're going out with grandma or whoever else that might be sighted, make sure that they also follow those same rules so the kid is used to those and isn't like, oh, well, grandma doesn't make me hold her hand.
That's
like,
such a good point.
I don't give a fuck what grandma does. Like, we're going to do this here. But if everybody is on board, you don't have to have that fight with your kid, And so, like, they just know that wherever you go, you got to hold your hand. Like, my youngest, she's the runner for sure. But we've been so consistent with her about holding hands from the very beginning that she knows now, like, hey, come hold my hand. And she comes. Or like sometimes I don't even have to ask her. She just gets out the car and she's already looking for my hand to hold because that's just what we've always done, even when she doesn't go out with me, which honestly never happens. But like she holds everybody's hand. And so we've just been really consistent with that. And it's really worked for us. So that's important.
I think, that's why it's so easy for us with our kids. Our kids are really close in age. They're 15 months apart. They do the same thing. They're like twins, I swear. But we've always been consistent with them. So no matter who they're with, because we're both blind, and just because you're with dad doesn't mean you do something different because you're with mom. We've been really consistent about, okay, when we get out of the car, you wait by the side of the car, you hold my hand. When we go out and we're walking at our like basketball game or at the cheer thing for Zanaya, if I call your name, you better answer me. Like they know that if they don't, I mean, it's going to be some kind of
and you have to be
consequence.
firm. Yeah, you have to be firm. You have to be like, show them that there is consequences if they don't follow those rules. You have to leave because
and we've left before, and
for
it's
sure,
hard
us
because
too.
they cry and they're upset, but they have to understand that this is a non-negotiable.
Because there's crazy people out there, and it's not like it was when we were growing up. It's totally different.
And what's really worked for us before is after COVID, I told my daughter that Chuck E. Cheese went out of business.
Damn. It just don't exist no more.
No, they didn't survive. There just wasn't enough business. Chuck E. Cheese actually is not even a thing anymore. It doesn't
Chucky
exist.
died.
What happens when y'all drive by a Chuck E. Cheese?
She can't read, so it's fine.
Oh no, that's fucked up.
Or I'm just gonna tell her that was left over and nobody bought it yet. We're in a recession.
Karen is really gonna build on this lie.
She's really thought about this.
Yes,
Like she's planned this out.
Yes, till she's 25, and somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese with our kids?" She's gonna be like, "That still exists."
My mom used to lie to us. My mom is a nurse, and she used to take the holiday shifts because you get paid more. So she would just lie to us and tell us the holiday was on a different day so she could get holiday pay.
That is so funny.
I come by it naturally.
That is so funny.
I know that we've all had weird experiences with the public and their misconceptions, but have any of y'all had weird experiences with your families and their misconceptions or their like misguided thoughts?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, she said, absolutely.
And you would think that like family wouldn't be that way because hello, they're family. So I mean, I can see if it's like your fifth cousin, like maybe you haven't spent a lot of time with them, but like your grandma, or your mom, like your mom, like that.
Yeah.
There is like, okay, lady, like, come on now. You birthed me, you raised me. So you know the type of person that I am. And I just don't. One thing that I hate about, hate is a strong word. One thing I don't like that parent or family members do, I won't even say your parents, but family members in general, is say, it's kind of like the public. It's kind of like, oh, I'm so glad you had little Johnny. He can take care of you. It's like little Johnny is in diapers and he can't even change his own poop. So like
I'm wiping his ass right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm wiping his ass. So who's helping who? Like who's taking care of who right now? And I just feel
He's never once cooked dinner.
Right.
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 Useless
If it wasn't
ass
for me, he would
helper.
starve. So it's like, how is he taking care of me? Yes, I won't see that it's not possible because when I get old, I told my kids, I said, okay, I'm gonna come stay 6 months with you, and I'm gonna stay 6 months with you, and then we're gonna rotate. So yeah, they probably will take care of me at some point, but
that's natural.
That's natural. Tell them that when they're like, when I'm like 80 or 90. Oh, I'm so glad little Johnny's taking care of you. Not when he's like 2 days old.
Look, if we wanted someone to take care of us, we wouldn't have children. We would hire
I would go get a sugar daddy.
a sugar daddy, something. Not a kid. I got to potty train first.
That I gotta feed, keep alive.
Shit. That's a big investment for little return.
Right?
Just saying.
I have a sighted husband, and people assume that often. And if they only knew that pretty much everything in the home I take care of, the children, my husband's in the military. He's gone a lot. I do most everything.
She's been through deployments, guys. Like she can take care of kids. They're still
people
alive.
just assume that because I have a sighted husband, he does everything. Now he drives, don't get me wrong, but like not everywhere I go, my husband drives me either. So that gets very frustrating because if they only knew the division of labor in my home.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but blind husband, sighted husband, I don't think it really matters. The woman kind of still does everything.
The domestic labor falls on the woman.
Right.
And you men out there, don't get offended. You know it's true.
Right. Tell me
who's your
kid's
kid's teacher and pediatrician, what size shoe they wear, what size clothes they wear.
Who do they ask? Exactly. Like they don't ever ask dad, oh, what size clothes do they wear? The school calls mom first. The doctor calls mom first. Even when I go to the doctor's office, they don't even address dad, which I think is kind of crazy. But like we're both sitting in there and they're, mom, how is their appetite? Mom, how is this? And I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is dad invisible? Or like what? It's crazy.
That's a whole nother episode too. Well, I wanted to mention in my family that I actually have a couple of family members that are blind. And the crazy thing is, like, we're not even related genetically. It's by marriages. And the wildest thing is that my family members will assume that I can see more than the others because I do more non-visually. So they just assume that I can see more, not that I've learned how to do things non-visually, but I must have more vision. And that's why, like, they can't wrap their mind around the fact that you can still do things without vision. And it gets frustrating because they don't know how much I can see. And like, it's not worth speculating about, but it's just frustrating because people who are totally blind are able to run full households and function in everyday society. So why does it matter, like, the hierarchy of blindness, like who can see what? Yes.
I feel like whenever I talk to Uber drivers and I tell them that I was like totally blind, or according to Zanaya, he's super blind. They're surprised.
Super blind.
They're surprised that two blind individuals are holding down a household. And when I say that I can see a little bit, I'm like, they're like, oh my gosh. Obviously, they think that I do everything. But I will say, if I were to be pregnant, it does give me anxiety because of what other people would say.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had a pregnancy where everybody's been happy about it. And that weighs on you. That's hard to know that, like, you're going to announce a pregnancy and people are really going to be disappointed or they're going to be upset or they're going to have things to say. Y'all, don't do that. Don't do
it. It really doesn't feel well. Because like my first pregnancy was amazing. And it was all I could dream of. But the second one was horrible. And it wasn't because I was sick or anything. It was just people's perceptions and people's, like, I can't tell you how many people told me not to have a second kid. And it's just like, people have the audacity to tell you what to do with your uterus.
My first child, I was told, oh, I wish you really would have gotten an abortion. And you know what? Like, I support everybody's right to do whatever they want to do or feel like they need to do. But that was not my decision. And it was hard to hear people say that they wish I would not have continued with that pregnancy. Even if that is your thought, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. Your mom told you if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
Don't say anything at all.
Can we talk about quality of life? I know we've been throwing that around. Do y'all think that, I mean, obviously, I think all of us would agree that we think we would have drastically different lives if we could see. We would be different people. Do you agree?
I think I would be a different person, but I don't think my life would be that different. Honestly, I think I'd still be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine would be so different. I think a lot of what my life, I mean, I'm in blind sports that take up a lot of my time, and I met my husband because I'm blind. I was gonna say, you know, my best friends because I'm doing this podcast because I'm blind. I met y'all because I'm blind. Like, I think I would be a completely different person.
I definitely wouldn't be. I wouldn't have Zayn and Zanaya with Apple.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
I would have met him. Yeah.
Look, I'm already vain when I'm blind. Like, God knew I would be unstoppable, insufferable if I could see. I'd be like an Instagram model.
I told
just worried about all the wrong fucking things. You know,
that's what I feel like. If I had titties, that's how I would be.
Well, I told Axel yesterday, I was like, I think that having kids definitely slowed him down. But also, like,
oh yeah, we've known him before he had kids.
Oh yeah, it's definitely slowed him down. But it's like, if he wasn't, and just being blind in general, we wouldn't have met each other, and like it would have been interesting how to see how it would have played out. But yeah, 100% different.
You know, that's so interesting too, because it makes me think that I'm the only one who had a different opinion, but I also lost my vision a lot later in life than you all did. And like, I met my husband in school, not related to like the blindness community at all. So it's just interesting how, I guess too, when you lose your vision makes a difference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too.
I also think though that like, so I do have some vision, and I was supposed to not have any at all. So like, I was supposed to be totally blind by like age 13. And I think that plays a little bit of part in how I am today, because just hearing that I was supposed to lose my sight and like preparing myself for not to have any, it was depressing and it really like hindered me. And so I just wonder like if that really did happen, I would probably still be at home because I wouldn't have like that ambition to like want to do things. And I would have, no offense, people, but I would have been like those people who are at home who are just at home because they're afraid to go outside and afraid to do
Boy, I can't even imagine that for you.
Yeah.
Because you don't like to be idle
I don't.
at all.
That would have been me.